Hello students. So once again we are there together, and this time again on the same topic which we did last time, and that topic is Microsoft Excel 2010. Last time we discussed about how to create a workbook in Excel and how to format it, how to change the size, style, and color of font, how to copy a text, how to move a text, and we also learn how to filter the text and how to sort the text. So this time we'll be learning formulas and functions and a few more tools and functions of Microsoft Excel. Okay, so last time I said that Microsoft Excel is used for two different things, that is for organizing data and for calculation. The major work of Excel remains the same, and that is calculation. And we all know that if we require to perform calculation, then for calculation we require formulas. So when we require to do some calculations in Excel, we need to use formulas. And in Excel, when we write formulas, every formula begins with the equal to sign. Say for example, you want to add two numbers. So for example, in this cell, you want to add two numbers. So click on the cell, the formula will begin with a equal sign. So we got equal to sign, two numbers plus 3 plus 4. So we got 7. Want to see the formula? Click on this result and you'll be seeing there is formula at this particular place. The same thing can be done in this way also. You write 3 here, you write 4 here, and you write the formula here is equal to 3 plus 4. We see that the result is same, that is 7. Of course 3 plus 4 will be 7 only, but there is a problem, and the problem is key. If suppose we change this number, suppose we make 3 as 6 now, and you press enter key. So as you press enter key, the result is same here, and that result is 7. It is 7. So no changes in the result. So if you want to make a formula in such a way so that if we change the input numbers, the output should also change, then for that we have to use the formula in different way, and that is using the address of the cell. So the question comes up, what is address of the cell? So the address of the cell is the place where the cell resides, and for getting or to know what is the address of the cell, for that we need to see where that cell is, in which column and in which row. So the name of the column and the name of the row together gives the name to the cell. Say for example this 7, where is 7? So click on 7. It is there in D column and fourth row. So the address of this cell is D4. Click on this one. You see it is in C column, fourth row. So the address of this is C4, and quite a simple work is to see this place. You can see the name of the cell here. You click on any cell, the name comes here. Click on this one, the name comes here. And the process I told before how to get the name. Simply see where that cell is. It is in J column. Where it is in row, it is in 7th row. So the name is J7. So it is here J7. Click here, you'll see P11. P11. So this is how we can get the address of the cell. After getting the address of the cell, we can write the same formula in different way. Say for example, we take again same numbers 3 and 4. We come to this cell, that is G4. To begin the formula, write with equal to sign is equal to. Now in place of writing the numbers directly, I will be writing the address where that values are. So 3 is there in G column and second row, so I'm writing G2, okay, plus the second number is 4. The 4 is in G3, so I'm writing G3, okay. So it is G2 plus G3. G2 means 3, G3 means 4. Enter key. 7. So you can see the result is correct. 7. Formula is G2 plus G3. So what is the difference between this formula and this formula? It is very much different. See, the value is 3 here. Click on this. As I made 6 here, I'll be making 6 again here also. 6, and I'll be pressing enter key. So as I press enter key, you'll see a change. And the change is this. The result is changed. Now 6 plus 4 is 10. And why this coming? This is coming because of this formula. This formula contains the address of the cell, that is G2 and G3. It is the address, whatever value this G2 will be having, whatever value this G3 will be having, those two values will be added and stored in this particular cell, and that is G4. Whatever you make, suppose in case of 5, 4 you make 5, press enter key, it is 11. So automatically the result will be changing. So this is why we prefer to write the name of the cell in place of the values. We do not write value directly, rather we write the name of the cells in which those values are, so that if in future we change the values of the cell, the result also changes automatically according to the values stored in the cell. So after getting the name of the cell, the next thing is range of cell. Range of cell means extent from a particular cell to the other cell. Suppose a few values are there, say for example 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, and then 8, and you want the sum here. So the carry one method like is equal to C6 plus D6 plus E6 plus F6 plus G6. So I'm writing it like C6 plus D6 plus E6 plus F6 plus G6. So we have all those 5 cell addresses plus enter keys. So it is 30. The value is correct, but we can see the formula became a bit long. C6, D6, E6, F6 and G6. And suppose this value is in a long range. We have 5 values. If it goes to more than 5 values like 10 or 20 or 30 values, and for that you can assume how much long this series will be there. So just to avoid that, what we write range of cell. Range of cell means from where to where the value is. Range of cell means starting and ending. So the same formula can be written here is equal to, and now there is a twist, and the twist is we will be including one more thing, and that one more thing is termed as function. Now what is function? Function is a predefined formula. It contains formula. The only thing we require to do is we require to give the values, and according to the values it calculates and gives the results automatically. And for adding the numbers we have a function, and that function is called sum. SUM, sum, open the bracket, and then we will be writing range of cell from where to where we want the values, and the range of cell is from C6 to G8. G6, we are writing C6 colon G6 and bracket close. So we can see it is highlighted from this range of cell to this range of it is highlighted. So as you press enter key, you will see the result. The result is 30. So is equal to sum. Sum is a function. It will add up all the numbers which will come from C6 to G6 cells. So the result came in this cell, that is I6. We have a number of more functions in Excel, and we'll discuss few. And in those few, one is average. If you have a number of numbers, say for example, we have few numbers like suppose we have 20, 16, 4, 5, 6, 8, and suppose I want average here. So I write here average. It is just like a level only, and I want average here. So I'll be writing here is equal to, the function name is average, average, bracket open, and then the range of cell means from where to where we need to find out the average, that is from cell D8 highlighted column to the last cell, that is D13. D13, you can see entire is highlighted and bracket close. So as I close the bracket and press enter key, the average comes here. So it is 9.8333. It is average. So we did some here. So if you want to try some one more time here, you can try here some. Writing sum here is equal to sum sum. It is used to find out the total from multiple numbers. The range of cell, take it as same, that is D8 colon D13 and bracket close. Sum is 59. One more function can be suppose count. See, it is used to count the number of numbers present in a range of cell, means how many numbers are there. So for that, simple thing is equal to count, 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 bracket open, range of cell, that is D8 to D13, and then bracket close. Let's see how many numbers are there. We have 6 on the check. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 numbers and it says 6. One more can be like minimum. If you want to find out the minimum value in a range of cell, then for that we can use min function is equal to min for minimum, bracket open, range of cell D8 colon D13, bracket close. So we will be getting the least number. We should be getting 4 here. So we got 4. Next is maximum. Maximum, we are to get the maximum value, the largest value. For that, it is max is equal to max, bracket open, D8 colon D13, bracket close. So largest number is 20, so I should look at 20. So you can see 20 came here. So a number of more functions are there. The only thing is we need to remember is in Excel each and every formula begins with a equal to sign. Every cell has an address. To get the address of the cell, we need to see the location of the cell, that is it lies in which column and which row. So we will be first writing the name of the column and the name of the row, that will be the name of the cell. After that, the next thing which comes is range of cell. Range of cell means the extent of the cell, from which cell to which cell we want the values or the result. So the starting value and the ending value we take as together, and in between we write colon. That becomes the range of the cell. So an Excel sheet contains numbers, calculations, formulas, and in this way some Excel sheets or entire workbook can be very precious for the person, very important for a person. So if a person wants to protect the entire workbook, protecting means if he wants that only he can access, nobody else should access the workbook. For that he can password protect the workbook, means the person who knows the password can only access the workbook. And to secure the workbook, the person needs to go to file menu, open file tab, and come to info. And in info you can see an option protect workbook. Click on it. As you click on it, you can see a list of options comes down. So in this we will be clicking on the second, that is encrypt with password. So as you click on it, a box comes up. So this box will ask for a password which we want to set for the documents. Say for example I want to protect it with the name star 1234 and okay. So it will ask again to confirm. So I'm writing star 1234 and okay. So it says a password is required to open this workbook. So this workbook is saved. So next time when you open the workbook, it will ask the password to open the workbook. So now we have set the password and let us save this workbook and try to open it back again. So click on file and click on save. As I click on save, it will ask for a name. Suppose the name is star one and I'm saving in documents. Save it. After this, let me close it and then let me try to open it back again. So click on file and click on star one. So as I click on star one, it should ask for a password. Yes, it is asking for the password and I'll be giving the password as star 1234 STAR 1234 and click on OK. So the password is correct and it is open. So you can see that the person who knows the password, only he or she can access the file. Nobody else can access the file. So once the workbook is created, content is being typed, calculations are done, and finally if you need to if you require to take the printout, the process is same as it is for rest of all the documents whichever we use to take the printout, and that is we click on file and from file we click on print. As we click on print, you can see a number of options comes up, and these all are the options. We can see whatever content we have typed is visible here. So I have only one page, so it is showing one of one. If we have numerous amount of pages, all those pages will come one by one as we click on these forward and back buttons. So this is the preview how the document will look like as it will printed, and here it shows the name of the printer. This is the name of my printer. It is showing offline because it is not on, so I have switched it off. And all these options are here related to printing. So it says from which page number to page number printed, and the size of the paper, that is letter, legal, A4 or whichever page you need to take the printout. And after finalizing all these, we need to give the copies, how many copies we need to take out for the printout, and then click on print. As you click on print, if your printer is ready, pages are there, ink is there, the page will come out in the same exact manner in which it is showing the preview. So this is how we can take the printout. And like I told before, to save the file we need to click on file, we need to click on save. As we click on save, and suppose I click on save as, and the box comes up. From here I'll be typing the name of a file and click on save. The file will be saved with a given name. So I've already saved the file. The name of the file is star1. So these are the few things of Microsoft Excel. You have done all these things in previous classes. This was just a revision for you all, so you can revise it back at your home if you have your systems. Not a very big deal. not a very difficult task also, quite a very simple task. Few simple things are there in Microsoft Excel which I have told, like how to create four sheets, about going, changing the font styles, size, color, copying and removing, how to filter data, how to sort data, formulas, functions to protect the document and to print the document. So this is all we have for this particular topic. Bye for now. Take care.